I'm here today with a good friend of mine, Dr. Robert Zembroski. He is also known as the guy who patched me up after I lifted heavy things that I shouldn't have lifted, fell off a dock like a doofus. Remember that? That was fun. He patched me up. We've got a new book out. It's called Rebuild, Dr. Z's Body Composition. And it's all the good stuff that you've been preaching to me and preaching to the choir for so long in one handy dandy little compendium here.
Absolutely.
So the story behind this is so interesting. You had a horrible experience, and it is detailed in all of its gore in here. But just give us the brief, because it's an amazing story.
So briefly, in 2006, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Behind my sternum was a 5-inch tumor. So once I got diagnosed, I started a 7-month journey of destructive and toxic chemotherapy. Then I had 4 weeks of radiation, followed by open chest surgery. Then they sawed my chest open to remove the tumor. And then after that period of time, I was left to figure out what to do for myself, to rebuild myself, restore my health. And thus that prompted me writing the book.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't exactly sit there and hold your hand and say, oh, here's what you need to do. Let's get you on this good diet. You're done. They were like, okay, well, we took out the cancer, we cranked you full of chemo, and bye. Exactly,
and that's what I call drop the bomb and run medicine, where they do a procedure, whether it's heart disease or cancer care or something, and you're left to figure out what to do next. And from that day, I created a personal plan to rebuild myself, which is in the book.
Let's talk about, because we want like the stuff we can use immediately that's going to make us feel better, look better. So this is the one I love to ask you, like if you're going to cut out 3 items in your diet, like just don't eat them, stay away from them, they're poison, what are the 3 things that you should just not eat at all?
Well, according to the research, based on what I see and how we can see people's health improve, not only with their health but their body composition, it's bread, dairy, and sugar.
Bread, dairy, and sugar. I've told you before, girls. See? He's a doctor. He knows what he's talking about. Me? Although this is what I eat like that. I mean, we've talked about this before. I don't eat bread, dairy, or sugar if I can help it. Although I still dealing with that little bit of cream in the coffee in the morning. I know.
Coconut milk, almond milk, unsweetened.
Unsweetened almond milk, cashew milk.
Yeah.
That's pretty decent. I'm not perfect. All right, so bread, dairy, sugar, cut those out. You'll feel 1,000,000 times better.
And all the research to back that up is here. So
right.
It's not just me being a anti-grain and dairy guy,
yeah.
but the research really does say
the
science is there to
okay.
show people that it's not good.
The other thing and it's so funny because I used to do it a little bit before, is the high intensity interval training, and then you reminded me it really needs to be like a couple times a week. You need that kind of workout. And just remind us all what high intensity interval training is.
Well, high intensity interval training is like sprinting.
Yeah.
You start off at a slow pace and you explode to a fast pace, and then you slow down again, or you come to a rest. Right, so it's like a sprinter.
Rest.
Or it's like sprinting.
Come to a stop.
So everyone needs a little bit of a rest, but the research really does show that reverse disease, rebuild from disease, or to get a real healthy body composition where you're low fat and lean, high intensity interval training is the way to go.
It leans you out. When I started doing it again, I started incorporating it 1 or 2 times a week. The next day, I noticed I felt leaner, tighter. The calorie burn is huge afterwards.
But I think a lot of people get frustrated because they think they have to go to the gym for hours on end.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. We're not designed to run 26 miles.
Right.
You know, that explosive movement plus the stop or the rest in between, a few days a week, 4 or 5 days a week even, will give you the greatest impact.
Right. It's amazing. And you have a really good schedule. He goes into deep detail about how to do it in the book. I was holding it upside down. I do love that. And then finally, and this has been so helpful to me too, I got into that habit of, well, my husband and I are sitting around, we're having a glass of wine, and ooh, some popcorn tastes good right about now. And it's like 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. But eating late is one of the big no-nos.
We're not supposed to digest food while we sleep.
Right.
Sleeping is a time where we repair ourselves. Hormones are released that help us heal, burn fat for fuel, regulate function. You know, one of those being growth hormone and so forth. But if you eat a lot of calories at night, or you eat all your food at night, you're actually turning on the hormones that make you fat and sick, as opposed to the ones that make you lean and healthy. Mm-hmm. And so we're supposed to eat when the sun is out, not when the moon is out. Everybody's like, oh, how am I going to do that? I don't really understand how I can do that. I get home at 8 o'clock. But it's also not, it's not just the calories, it's a type of food you eat.
Right.
So if you eat greens or protein, then you're not going to raise the hormones that make you fat and sick.
Yeah, green salad, green vegetables.
Absolutely.
A little chicken, a little salmon, something like that. If you have to eat dinner at 8, as opposed to popcorn.
Bloating popcorn.
Oh my gosh! I wake up the next day, it's like I swallowed a basketball.
Just remember, where carbs go, water goes, right? So if you eat a lot of carbs, you get bloated with water, and then people freak out.
Also, you told me like to front and load your calories earlier in the day, like get your day going with something and keep the calories earlier in the day and then kind of taper them a little bit.
Yeah, because you're most active then.
Yeah.
Why would you fuel the tank right before bed?
Right. Makes no sense.
None.
None.
And so we get fat and sick while we're sleeping, then people wake up and they have to drink 4 pots of coffee because their adrenals are burned out. Their insulin has caused them to be super unhealthy, right? And then we need wine to put us to sleep because we've shifted our stress hormone levels based on our environment and our foods. It really is simple. There's 3 rules in Rebuild that will help you get healthy and well and have great body composition.
Right. Well, it's working for me. I'm not quite there yet. We have that little thing that I like to call fun with menopause, which that's a whole other story. We're going to have him back to talk about that I'm also dealing with. But we can get this on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and your website, which is right there. Rebuild Dr. Z's Body Composition Diet. Everything you need to know about being fabulous from A to Dr. Z.
Oh,
See what I did there? That was pretty funny, right? All right, y'all stay as glamorous and fabulous and healthy as you can stand to be. I'm Hattie Roberts. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was great. No, you didn't tell them about the secret magic diet pill, did you?